And good morning, everybody, and my extraordinary agents. You guys are just remarkable, and we've had quite a time, and it's been just absolutely amazing on some of the results you guys have done, and the things that have just helped you to open up to more about all the opportunity that's in this world that you can create and become this extraordinary agent, even more extraordinary than you are already. And so, just as kind of a reminder, it's always best to be here live. But if you are watching this recording, that you'll still get lots out of it. You just won't be able to participate. We're going to have lots of participation today. And so I would remind everybody to make sure you have a pad and paper to take notes. Also, in the first session, the first session was pretty amazing. It was how to build a winning and prosperous mindset. And and so there were some things that were very important there in order to have that prosperous mindset. And one of the things was to meditate. And so I sent everybody a meditation. If you didn't have one, you can also go online and get meditations, guided meditations, or just music, whatever you prefer. And so who's been doing that? And what do you think about meditation? And has it helped you to build this winning and prosperous mindset? And so thoughts? Who's been doing meditating?
Hi, Dr. Hank.
Hey, Teresa.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
So, the first thing I do in the morning is I meditate, and I use the platform breathe.com. Lynn
Great.
Goldberg is my favorite meditation teacher.
Okay.
And I think she knows you, Dr. Hank, because she talks so much about all of the things that you teach us.
Wonderful.
And it's about 20 minutes. And then I follow that with prayer to ask for what I want and to bless others. And I can tell completely it's a completely different day if I miss it.
Yeah.
Not a bad day. It's just I feel like I'm so much more illuminated.
Yeah. You're connected.
And in alignment with God and people and myself.
Yeah. We have sometimes we have a hard time letting go. We think that, I got to hop out of bed and do. My story about that, if you do, you end up getting do in your life. And so none of us want that. And it's really to trust and have faith in God, that the Father will do the work. And it's just for us to be able to ask on what we want. So Teresa just shared that you ask for what you want, and then you quiet your mind. And that's what meditation is, to quiet your mind. And the reason why you're doing that is you're allowing God, your higher self, higher power, whatever word that is best for you, Jesus, whatever, that you allow God in, and God will give you all the answers you want and all the solutions you want. You'll also have a thought, hey, I should go call this person, or I should go check my phone, or you'll attract people. And so it's really key. And it's interesting. Teresa, on that breathe.com, is it breathe.com? Does it have an E at the end of it? I know you're checking.
It is. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
It's like I should know. BREETHE.com.
BREETHE.com. Okay, yeah. Great. And just
and
so you know,
it's like $80 a year, but if you break that down to every day,
yeah,
and it's just so worth it.
Wow, that's great. That's great. So BREETHE.com. And so beautiful. And the other thing we talked about on building a winning and prosperous mindset, and I really like this idea about prosperous mindset, is to breathe. And so not only do we have this website to be able to go to, but also on this and invest in that in yourself. Like if you think, oh man, I'm not paying $100 or whatever, that's a shortage mindset. And so if you want to do it, just go do it, and God will fill up your checking account. You can count on that. And you can count on more money coming to you because of extraordinary agent and what we're doing. So again, the two big takeaways there was on to meditate, quiet your mind, be in a state of allowing, receiving, if you will, to give and receive. We've been all taught, oh, it's better to give than to receive, and that's just not true. That if you don't have a receiver, it's no fun giving, right? And so be a receiver. And most people need to really focus in on being a good receiver. And as you just receive, hey, I want to receive love and money, more business, service, and all kinds of things. And again, I would just take notes on when you hear an aha, take a note on it, because most people are like, oh, I know that or whatever. And that's kind of the one of the main things and why people don't grow is they think they know that, except they don't do it. They don't, really embrace that. And so I would encourage all of us to be able to do that, and then to think about wanted thoughts. And so that was session one, and that's just great. And session two, we talked about, and this, by the way, this is the success unit together is going to be about uh, attracting, how to attract who our ideal client is, and then how to attract it, but those ideal clients. But I wanted to first talk about what we did last week, and that was the high flying desires and kind of high octane desires. And so we went through, different areas of our life on how to do that. And we looked at a prosperity picture, and we were kind of putting money there. And money is really love. And actually, in Success Unit 1, we took our hearts out, and literally out of us, we did open heart surgery, if you will. And we took our chains off of our heart, and we shined up our heart, put it back in. And really, when you start doing these exercises, though, some of you may say, like, what? How do you do that or whatever? That just think about loving yourself, and that because the essence of who all of us are is love. And so we looked at then, last week at our business, personal development, our contribution, all kinds of different things. And that helped us to look at our desires. And I was talking with Teresa about that. She wasn't with us last week, but she watched the recording, and she's very diligent. She actually, does the easy steps that I ask, and that's why she's one of the top agents in America. And then just another side point as I'm thinking about it. Remember, this is also a national referral group. So we have people from around the United States. You have a referral, give it to me. I'll find an agent in that area for you. I don't take any money or anything. You guys do the split. So we're also a referral group. So know that that's available, and you can, contact me directly with that. But back to our prosperity picture, and I was talking to Teresa yesterday, and we talked about, maybe it was Monday, it was specific to this, but she had talked about being a speaker and kind of getting out there, and and so it was a whole new direction. But we just developed an amazing, incredible opportunity. But Teresa, do you want to talk a little about what did you experience kind of going through that prosperity picture, and look into different areas of your life? What was an aha for you?
So I am practicing in our coaching, allowing and receiving. And so this exercise fell right into place for me. And I believe the prosperity picture um, was the top left box was more money sooner.
Yeah.
And, I'm a writer, I have been since I was little. And so it's easy for me to pour emotions and thoughts on paper. And I often surprise myself. So my number one thing was faith, to be consistent in my faith with God. One of the things that came up besides listings,
Mhm.
referrals,
Mhm.
was to be a keynote speaker. I
Yeah.
really enjoy getting up in front of a group of people that
Mhm.
are interested in what I have to share or offer. To me, that's like a gift.
Yeah.
And so to get up in front of a group of people, like I'll use the city of Frisco, for instance, to get up and talk in front of the police department sounds really scary. But for me, sharing the first responder program, I just felt like I was just exuding these gifts, and I wasn't nervous. And I would go up to each person and look them right in the eye and say, "What do you want that we don't have so far?" And they started to engage. And so here you have a group of people and a gift to give, and it just feels so good to me. Um, so that was one of the things that I wanted more of, is the opportunities to be a keynote speaker, speak about the program, get in front of a group of other realtors or agents and share my philosophies and what has made me successful so that they can duplicate. So yeah, so I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, yeah. And then when we talked and we took it kind of beyond that, wow, you could have a podcast then, and then that podcast would, attract more clients and ideal clients that we'll talk about today. And then, then we talked, hey, you could be on my show. And so it just continues to blossom and get more and more as you identify what you want. And in this case, Teresa was just in a receptive mode and, looking and going through this exercise and then asking for, hey, give me the magic, give me something special. And here all of a sudden something special comes to, public speaking. Like, that just wasn't in her wheelbox at all. And recently she has had different things like doing yoga and actually teaching yoga. She's not a yoga teacher, but she's inviting her new neighbors over and having that, and then painting. And one of her passions is painting. And so it's really just letting go. It's not just all about this business. And as you do those things, you get lots of business, and you'll be relaxed, and you'll be in a state of allowing, and to be able to allow all these wonderful things in. And so, does somebody else have something to share with us about like last week? I love Mark shared with us his vision, and again that I think it was termed mobile home, and traveling the United States with he and his wife, and just it was really remarkable. A lot of people commented about that, how much they love that, Mark. And anybody else have anything on a vision on what your desire is, what your love is? Because remember where that dollar sign is of money. Remember that money is actually a positive, loving energy. And so we could classify this money as an energy, loving energy from God that comes to us. And we call loving energies from God angels. And so you can actually look at money as love and this loving energy from God. And when you think about money, just think how many things it does. It provides a roof over our head and food on the table. And then we have, we can travel and we can in this physical body of ours. And then all kinds of wonderful things happen that we get more choices, we get more options. It's just incredible. And in fact, I have a good one, a good mantra that comes to mind for you, and I would suggest that you write this down. But money comes to me. So money comes to me. Remember, you're the attractor. Money comes to me joyfully, happily, and playfully. You want to start playing with money. You want to just start, just have relief. There's plenty of money. And that I always, I love, and Stacey, if I can share kind of a little of your story on that. Stacey came and said, "Hey, I'm not getting enough business. My business, I don't want money." I kept on saying, "You just kind of relax and just allow and, let God." And it took her a few months, but all of a sudden, boom, her business exploded. And it's just about this really trusting and having faith in God and your higher self, if you will, and knowing that all the answers and solutions are there. Again, that sentence, money comes to me joyfully, happily, and playfully. Does anybody have a vision they want to share or, desire that came out of from last week?
Hey, Dr. Hank, it's Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Yeah, I keeps coming to mind, and I'm. What's good is that we're repeating this because of the habitual way of the mind. But something that's definitely been on my mind is that I'm a net six-figure earner, which really means that I would have to be making above $150,000 a year.
Yeah.
And then from that, it's kind of like, okay, that's the tip of the triangle. And then from that are some of the things that we have within our business, being an icon agent. So first off with that is 2.6 million in sales, and then 20 more transactions after that. So having that on my mind, remembering it, focusing on that for me to be that six-figure earner. And then because we have so many other opportunities with stocks and revenue share, there's just way more mortgage
Yeah.
for us to grow our business and expand that business to allow what you're talking about, more receiving into my life. And so those are a couple of the main things that I've been focusing on. And with that, so that's basically would be around $12,000-$15,000 a month in my bank account. Yeah, so, and I don't know if we're going to get into this, but that packet you sent out to us, I think is a good step for following up with what we did the week before. And I missed a minute there. I don't know if that's what we're talking about now, or we're talking about.
What one is that? What is that? For the handout for today, you mean? Or
yeah, the handout for today.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. We haven't gotten to that yet, but we'll definitely get to that because we're going to become magnets to ideal clients, and like it's just going to be really fun, and we're going to enjoy that.
And one more, and maybe we'll do this later or something, but I just wanted to share a couple of events that have happened for me. Like I have $1 million listing, got it under contract this weekend.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I've got a one day last week out of my 9 phone calls, and what I have been doing is making 60 calls a week, 9 to 12 phone calls a day to my past clients and referral clients. And by the way, here's what comes about from doing this. And what I did yesterday, I purged out some dead people in my database. That tells you there needs to be some possession consciousness to clear some of that stuff out. I mean, it brought fond memories. I thought, oh man, fond memories of those people, but I don't think I can call them or contact them about buying real estate at this particular moment. So
yeah.
So one of the days last week, called 9 people, got a pre-approval letter for 1 buyer, got them connected to one of our lenders that we use, and also connected with a guy that I hadn't contacted in a while. He's got 2 condos he wants to sell, and he wants to buy a house.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and I'm meeting with that guy today to go look at his properties and for the listing appointment. So those are just a couple of things that, like, once we think about these things, once we start having this top of mind, what happens is that flowing and that energy starts to create these great events in our life. And I'll give you just one other like small thing, because we're realtors, and like I got a call from the inspector, and there was a lock on something. I couldn't get into the lock. There was a lock on something else. I couldn't get it. I was just like, oh my God, all right. But what I did was I stopped, and someone told me this, and I can maybe bring this up later, was basically God doesn't care about the outcome. He cares about my reaction.
Cool.
Going up, nothing's going right. We can't get these locks. They can't do this. They can't do that. Guess what? More of it will happen. And actually, that's how I started this whole thing. And I just stopped. I just took a couple of deep breaths, and I thought to myself, this is all going to play out. This is all going to be okay. This is going to be perfect. Next thing I know, I got on the phone with the guy. I said, look, I apologize for all this. And then after that, what happened, everything just started clicking into place, and I haven't heard from anyone, and they're just moving along, doing their deal, and everything is good, and I have to keep that energy. And I know that's a small thing, but small things, it doesn't matter in God's universe, small, big.
Right. It's huge. It's huge, because see, what most of us do is we just react to life. And what you decided to do is to respond and to stop, take a deep breath, and then ask for it to play out. And again, we don't use the word work, because work is a low vibrational word. So we want to just have, hey, I want this all to play out. And when you allow God in your life, in order to do that, there will be answers. And because of the way Ryan was sharing about, hey, there was this lock and that lock and that lock, God gives you the key to all the damn locks.
Yeah, in fact, he had one key. It was called a bolt cutter. I said, cut that sucker off.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. Well, thanks for sharing that, Ryan, and for all of us to really, take a deep breath in and not take everything so serious, to lighten up on everything that on life, that it's just fine. And this idea about, really doesn't matter of the outcome, that when you ask for the outcome, and then whatever happens in between that space of, hey, I asked, and then I want the outcome to be this, whatever happens in that space, it's just no big deal. Know that you're going to get the outcome that you wanted. It's just sometimes, in fact, most of the time, that there is your higher self, your higher power has the perfect answer. But with our little minds, sometimes we can't figure it out why that was good. And, why my son got injured in football, or why the deal went south, or whatever. But you'll see that it actually is creating energy for you to get more energy of what you do want. And so it'll take you to what you want, even though, again, at the time, as we're looking at it and we're right in the midst of it, it looks like it isn't very good. And so let's move into attracting our ideal clients. And what we're going to do is we're going to first identify our ideal clients, and then the steps to attract our ideal clients. So we're literally going to play through this exercise. It was a handout that was sent to you. If you don't have the handout with you, it's no big deal. That go ahead and I'll be reading it out loud. We'll be discussing this. Again, I want this interactive, and for all of us to be able to participate with this. And then ways to boost our referrals without directly asking for them. And so all of this will come in. But here's what we all need to understand is that we are magnets. We attract into our lives whatever we're thinking about. So I like to use the example of family members. They know how to push your buttons, okay? And your loved ones, they know how to push your buttons. Well, it's not because they're mean or, gee, they're pushing my buttons to get me or anything, is you have created the damn button to push. And so you become irresistible to your loved ones want to push that button because you're shouting and screaming it out in your vibration. Okay. And so thus, because you're thinking about what you don't want. So what we're going to do today is we're going to create this energy and this magnetism for ideal clients, that clients can literally just pop out of the blue for you. And I'll give you an example. I got a call, it was Friday afternoon, and it wasn't, my phone's all jazzed up with to identify, who it is or who it isn't, or if it's a robocall or, whatever. And so I got all this stuff on it. And I actually had a person's name on it. And I didn't recognize the person, didn't know the person. And so I thought, hey, I'll answer that, and so I was motivated to, it's like I just felt good about the name. It felt good, that call on a person that I didn't know. And so I picked it up, and within 10 minutes or so, he was actually an investor, real estate investor. And within 10 minutes, he said, listen, I just need your help. I've been watching, videos, whatever, and I'll pay you like $1,000 if I can have 2 hours with you. And I said, well, I could maybe meet with you in a week or whatever. And he goes, no, I need it sooner. Like, could you do it tomorrow? And tomorrow was a Saturday. And I said, sure. And in the conversation, now we're 11 minutes in the conversation, and he goes, hey, check your bank account that you have the $1,000 in there. I mean, in 11 minutes, get $1,000. If you add that up per hour, that's a lot of money, right? But see, it's all just fun. It's all just enjoyable. So that would be an example of an ideal client, right? That, within 11 minutes that they say, hey, yes, and they wire you the money, and they through Zelle, you can do that, quickly. And so I want you to be, all of us to be thinking now about our perfect client. It's like the perfect client where I got $1 million listing, or they were just so kind and they listened to us. So we're going to actually go through this, and my perfect fit client. And so I like this idea about perfect fit, good fit, client attraction, because you literally, we're all mental and spiritual magnets. And then you want to write that down, that I am a mental and spiritual magnet. Okay. And so whatever I'm thinking about, so if I'm thinking about the deal that went south and how that prospect didn't do it, and I had to work hard for them, and they ended up not signing the contract, went with somebody else. If I'm thinking about that, then you are going to attract what I call cooperative components, which means you're going to attract similar, like in this case, clients, prospects into your life. And so what I want to make sure that we do is, when you do have those clients, really what they're there for is to help you build energy to say, this is what I don't want. And then to ask your higher power, ask God, what do I want? And so then that will be, I want clients that listen to me and sign contracts, and, just kind of almost the opposite of what they want. Because whatever you're thinking, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. It only matters what's going on in your head and your heart, your feelings. And so, let me just let this person in here. And so because of that I want us now to look at and define who our perfect client is. So right now, and I want you to say it out loud as we're all writing this down, list the qualities, the characteristic traits to consider. And typically what I recommend, you can do it just in your imagination. God's playground is your imagination. Okay, in your imagination, you just make up your ideal client. Or one real effective way is to go back and think about who was just an ideal past client who I had isn't so real, that you met them and know them and, did the deal, got paid, got the commissions, whatever. So what are those qualities? What are those characteristics of a perfect fit, an ideal client? What would that be?
They're generous with their money, time, and resources.
Ooh, that's good. And again, you want to write these things down and then kind of recap them. So say that over again. Generous with their.
They're generous with their money, time, and resources.
Boy, that's great. That is awesome. And yeah, and when I kind of think about that, like people that, oh, I don't want to, whatever, spend money on a surveyor and appraiser, whatever, fix up the place, whatever. And it's just kind of like a drag, come on, there's plenty of money, okay? And so, yeah, the opposite of that, hey, I just love people that are generous with their money, time, and resources. Another one?
I put,
oh, sorry.
I put cooperative and trusts me.
No, that's great. Cooperative and trust me. And again, you want to just start feeling this. You want to just start getting into it. Who else was going to say something there?
I had fun, open-minded, and loving.
Man, how great is that? Fun, open-minded, and loving. And that is so cool. And that, again, really the essence of who we are is love for all of us to just, get into this and see. It's not about, a lot of people are like in the middle of a listing presentation and all of a sudden it's not going well. And then they start asking for this. Okay. See, what we're doing is we're pre-paving this so that we can just attract like those listings. Because listings is the path of least resistance, right? We don't have buyers and we have to take all over town. And so listen, and why not get listings? And why not get like Ryan, $1 million listings or, higher end luxury listings that, but if you're not asking for it, that you're not going to get it. And so, it's this idea of, and I love with Lance on fun, open-minded, loving. That means you're going to have a fun time, that it'll influence you to be even more open-minded and more loving, and that, it'll just be a fun time. And that then they'll automatically like be cooperative and trust you then, and so all of these thoughts. So it's not, it's not getting so specific where you're doing God's work. And so God, the Father does the work, and so what does that mean? That means you don't say, excuse me, you don't say like, oh, Joe is going to sign my listing agreement today. That be easier. Hey, we get along better. We get along well. We enjoy each other's company. We trust each other. We're fun. We're open-minded. We're loving. And so don't get into that detail because, again, it might be best that they don't sign it. You just may not know that because of some reason where they have another property, or like Ryan, they got some other properties that I want to be open-minded and available to, receive not only that listing, but maybe a couple other properties that they have. Other things on your ideal client, and think of a past client who was just fantastic. And what did you love about them?
I have loyal and supportive.
You're right.
I also put amicable and excited, which is in line with what Lance said.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're excited, that other thoughts.
I'm
Fun
going
and
to go
happy.
down.
Yeah,
Sorry,
go ahead. Jody, yeah, go ahead.
Hi. I'm going to go down Lance's road also, and Teresa's with open-minded, but mine is open-minded to be educated.
That's great. Yeah. Open-minded to be educated. Yeah. And that I want the I have all this, knowledge and experience. And so, I want people to be open to my knowledge so that they, get it, because, it's not just, hey, I want this house and I can get it. Good luck if you're a buyer thinking you're going to just get it. I had a situation where I had this couple say, hey, listen, you got to write a letter to these sellers and with a picture of you and so they did everything that I asked them to do, and they got the house, and it was actually a lower bid. And so people really aren't going to do it for the money per se. It's not the number one. They're going to do it if they like you, if you've touched them, if they feel good about you. And so that personal letter, was able to do it. But you got to educate them and say, hey, this is a seller's market now, and how to go from there. It's a great one, Jody. Thank you. Other ones?
I have another one that's perceive the value.
Okay, so that they perceive my value. Is that it? Or
Yeah. They perceive the value of your service, of your time.
okay, yeah. So receive my value and understand my value that I am, and we're all worthy. In fact, I can share with you that most people have low self-esteem. We've been told, things like as a child, children should only be seen and not heard, and so then we don't talk. When we're 18, we weren't told, hey, it's okay now to talk and not just be seen, and so that's why some people are afraid to, be able to do it. And that's just one example about self-esteem. But a great phrase of that is, I am enough, I have enough, and I be enough. It's just beautiful. And when you start having that just soak in, that I have enough, I am enough, I have enough, I be enough. And you just let that soak in, and you'll see your confidence will start increasing, that you'll be excited to go and talk with others and to call. Like Ryan made a real good, we have all kinds of things in Extraordinary Agents. Like sometimes we're flying with our angels, sometimes we're into real practical things. Ryan had a great practical thing. What does he do? He does 10 to 12 calls per day. He connects with people. And what does he get out of it? $1 million listing, another one that has a listing and has 2 other properties, all kinds of opportunity. But you have to be out there. And I don't want you to make cold calls, that you have a list. And if you just have a list of 10 people, that's 100 potential, because every person has about 10 people that they know that is buying or selling, real estate. You got 100 leads there. And again, they may not know about that. But the fact is that it doesn't matter where you start. You just need to start. And so you got neighbors, and call on your neighbors. And again, we're airing this right now before Valentine's Day, but it's any holiday that starts sending out letters. It's another practical way to build your business. So we'll get you to be a magnet. And what you'll do now is, when you start calling these people and connecting with these people and getting referrals, and you say, hey, if you know anybody that I can help, I'd love to be able to help them, just in a real light way. Not, oh, if you know anybody with referrals, just be your natural self and say, hey, if I help anybody with real estate, let me know that, I'd love to help them. And like I helped you or whatever was the previous client. And what you'll do is, because you're vibrating this ideal perfect fit client, that you'll attract perfect fit clients. In fact, it doesn't even matter if those people really aren't perfect fit. Let's say you get a referral and they aren't perfect fit clients, that when you call, your vibration is such that you extract out of them a perfect fit client. And all of a sudden, they're generous with their time and their money and their resources, and they're loyal and supportive, and they're open to be educated, and they're excited, and they're fun, and they like me. So here's a couple more that they like me, that I like them, and we get along great together. Isn't that what we want? Just to get along great. You can keep it general like that, okay? That, hey, I just want to get along great with these people. So it says, and anybody else want to, one more?
Yeah, I was going to add a couple of things just along with that.
Right?
A couple of ideas in my database. I just thought about this as I was doing this. I wrote down,
Awesome.
if I'm calling a client, a lot of times I'll put in, I know their property information, all these details about their real estate and all this, but right in there, I have a way to like add notes. And I'm going to start writing in there, what do I like about this person? But here's the thing, that's really good as well. But then when I'm asking for them for referrals, say, hey, what I like about you is you're fun and enjoyable. And I want more of the same people. So if you have more fun and enjoyable people, because I know they do, if they're fun and enjoyable, they hang out with fun and enjoyable people. They don't hang out with crappy people. I want more of that, right? So that's one thing. And then another thing, I did this morning. Right now, I guarantee you probably every market that we're in, anyone you call, any of your past clients, look up their comps. I guarantee you, if you sold them that house 6 months ago, the prices have already gone up. So just give them a little quick market update. Doesn't have to be super detailed. One of my clients, they bought a home. It was maybe like a year and a half ago. It was $1,530,000 that they bought. And I went and found a sold that backed up to commercial property, which is not as ideal or desirable as their property. And it sold for $1.8 million. And I told them, I said, hey, look, you've already in the amount of time basically made $300,000 on your property. Who doesn't want to hear something like that? That's great news. That's good stuff. Like, come on, we need to hear great news right now. And what an opportunity we have to spread the good news. Real estate is great. Okay, I'll stop because but those are a couple of ideas.
Well, no, that's awesome, Ryan. And I just love your enthusiasm on that. And to make them feel good. And so one way to make them feel good is for sure say, hey, here's what your value did. And then seeing what happens there is now with this $1 million home owner, right, that they are, Ryan is on top of mind and top of heart with these people, which means, again, these people know 10 people that probably have $1 million homes or higher end homes that they're looking to buy or sell also. And so you don't necessarily have to directly ask for a referral. And in fact, put in your vibration something like that I easily receive referrals. And so that's another sentence to put down. I easily receive referrals. If you say that, you vibrate referrals. And when you're talking to other people, they're going to say it. It's kind of like when you say, oh, gee, I hope this person doesn't say this. And then they say it and they bring it up to you. Reason why is you can't say, I hope they don't say this. You're thinking about this and they're going to bring it. So stop thinking about what you don't want, and instead, hey, they're going to bring, that they're going to bring up referrals because I love getting referrals easily and abundantly in my life. But what I love most, what Ryan said, is see, you're touching people, will do business with you, if you will, because they like you. That's the number one reason. Well, if you think consciously about, hey, I like this person because of, and then you say, why do I like this person? And you start coming up with why you like this person. That they feel that even though you haven't called them yet, okay? Then you call them and then you share with them about how positive they are and that, hey, I'm looking for other positive, wonderful people like you. And who do you know? So it's not do you know, it's who do you know? And again, I would write that down. Who do you know? Not do you know, because they can just say, no, I don't know anybody. That who do you know that is interested in, buying or selling the American dream? I like always putting in the American dream. It just makes it, not a house, it's a home or American dream, on that. So that's just super. So number two is on my what my perfect fit client will say about me and the value I add for them. And so put in your name there, and you made a difference. So, Linda, you made a difference for me by, and if you go to the second page, there's all kinds of value and appreciation words for you to review and to say, hey, what is it that I love? So, see, you want to be selfish enough. You have to be selfish enough to want to feel good. Okay. And when you feel good, you make everybody else feel good. When you call, your vibration is higher. You're just better. I have people with me that they say, hey, I didn't even believe. In fact, I think Lance told me this recently. He said, I just didn't believe you were that happy. And I've been following you for a few years, whatever. And, nobody can be that damn happy. And so what's the secret? And, and really contained in all of this is a secret. And number one, is to feel good. Why feel good? Because that's where God is, and then you're connected with God, then everything will come to you. What we've been told is, hey, you got to figure it out. It's not your job to figure out the how. That's God's job. Okay, we've been told work hard. You don't have to work hard at all. Play easy. Okay, and just lighten up on all this and just have faith and trust. God will bring you everything that you ask. If you would just ask and not have any resistant thoughts about, oh, this is going to be difficult, or oh, there aren't enough, or there's too many, or whatever. Okay, if you just ask for something, then you'll receive it. Like pretty much instantly, okay? But most of us have all this stuff that happened, and that's why we're gonna just start vibrating on what we want. And we want these ideal clients. This is what I want. So write down what that when these people say, you made a difference for me by, and then what makes your heart sing? When somebody says something to you, what makes your heart sing? And so review some of these words and say, man, I just I love when people compliment me on how knowledgeable I am or how kind I am. You know what? Each one of you are so kind. Don't you just love that? Oh, yeah, we're just you're so kind. And to start out any conversation to anybody about that, you are so kind. And doesn't matter how they've been to you before, everybody has the ability to be really kind or not. And even though maybe you saw the not before, you not think about that and just think about this person has the ability to be kind. They're going to be kind to me now. And yeah,
something.
Yeah.
Boy, does this work. I had 2 closings last Wednesday. And both of those families were everything that's on this list that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And, you talked about tears of joy. Mm-hmm. And they were so wonderful that I went through a little period of really missing them after we closed.
Oh, beautiful.
Still contacting them, trying to not bugging them, but it's like it just solidifies why we're here. Mm-hmm. To each and every one of us that have such a beautiful heart and really truly genuinely want to help people, and then to see the results of how it pivotally changes somebody else's life. And all of the things that we're adding to the perfect fit client, it's just, there's so much joy in it. It really does give me misty eyes to think about it.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Yeah, and so that's a great thing you bring up is if every day you'll ask for tears of joy to come to you, you'll have it. Or another great one is I asked for today, big, happy surprises. And just let it happen. I mean, yesterday I was on I ask for that every day and I get it every day and like numerous times. I mean, it's just magical. My days are magical. And like yesterday, just for example, that I'm talking like, grandchildren, and oh my God, this 1-year-old little daughter Ava, and 4-year-old little boy Noah, and I'm going like this to them and going boo, okay, and the 1-year-old doesn't know what's going on, but starts doing this and giggling and putting her arms out, and I had tears of joy, and then I recognized and I said, "Thank you, Lord, you gave me tears of joy." And so this is how it goes. And so with your clients, don't even call them clients, call them friends, that call them, divine ones, whatever, maybe not to their face, they may not get it, if you will, but, angelic, that, you, each one of you are so angelic. And I just love how kind you are to me. I mean, doesn't that sound nice? Doesn't that sound good? Now, the next part of that is, why do I love people saying about the difference that I've made for them? And so why do you love that? Well, number one is you feel good. People say that. When I just said that to you, you feel good. And and what other reasons are there? Why do you love people saying the difference that you made for them? You feel good. What else? Sean, what about you, man? That why do you love people when they compliment you and they tell you you made a difference? In fact, you've made a difference in my life, Sean. And why do you love that?
One of the main reasons why I love it, it does really make me feel good. It makes me feel as if I'm fulfilling my purpose, helping people.
Great.
So that it gives me assurance and it gives me an energy to keep going.
Yeah.
To be better, to do more of that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Love it. Perfect, man. Just perfect. I knew
Well,
you had the perfect answer for us. Yeah.
want to follow Sean on that.
Yeah.
It's really good to see you, Sean. I have such love for you. It's a sense of significance. And, I talk often about the 6 basic human needs. One of them is love and connection. And one of the biggest ones is significance. Another one is contribution. And of course, growth. But that significance just makes you feel like Sean was saying, that you are in perfect alignment and just your big wire here. It's a mortality spiritual thing.
It's beautiful, man. Just beautiful. And that growth, our soul is here for 3 purposes.
Yeah.
And the first one is growth, to have more growth. And most people have more unwanted growth than and more contrast to what they don't want. And we are all learning on how to be deliberate co-creators, that we can literally start asking for and getting what we want. And so there's nothing fighting against us, a little devil, some little pitchfork, none of that crap. There's no karma, there's no nothing. We're here to create, and we each get a choice on are we going to create what we want or what we don't want. And so these just beautiful that, love and significance and growth and alignment. And see, as you get really clear on what are they going to say about me, and why do I love what they say? As you do, you just become a magnet to these ideal clients, these great fit, perfect fit clients that you have. And I will share with you that you'll still have in your vibration kind of some of the old ones, maybe, and the stuff that you don't want. And so you may brush up against a prospect that you don't want, and then just bless them. And say, this is so damn great, because don't tell them this, but they're the worst. Just what they don't want, that they're ugly and they're mean, they say terrible things. Man, I just love that, and I bless you for that, because you help me understand what I don't want, and it helps me to turn my cheek, Christ term, right? Turn my cheek and to what I do want. And that will birth this growth for you. So just tremendous, fantastic input.
Can I add one more thing, Dr. Hay?
Good.
So the perfect fit client that we're
Yeah. talking
about is going to send perfect fit client referrals.
Exactly.
I've been doing this for 20 years, and I can tell you that what I call homezillas, like Bridezilla, the contrast client, they will send you contrast clients.
Mm.
So in doing this exercise, I realized just how important it is to meditate and pray and think and feel and manifest this, because because it will repeat itself.
Absolutely. Beautiful. Beautiful. So number 3 is I envision my perfect fit clients to have this type of friendship with me. And so I wrote down a few things that, again, another way to kind of just look at it and wow, we are kind to each other. We enjoy each other. We uplift each other. We help each other reach our desires. In fact, those last 2, every day that I ask for everybody that I think about or I come in contact with, that we uplift each other and we help each other to our desires. And so if you just do that, you're going to have a rocking life and a rocking day, and you're going to just love people, and you're going to be loving to, talk with them and to be out there and to build these loving relationships, because you literally have the power to attract anybody you want, angelic or not, and we choose angelic. And then how will I now create within me the thoughts and feelings to attract my good fit clients? So how will you, like every day, what are some things that would be helpful now as we kind of reviewed all of this, that what would be helpful for you to keep in mind? And it's really every day. And some people say, why don't we just go through this exercise and then it'd be so. And it's kind of like physical exercise, right? That, if you do it one day and then you don't do it for the next 6 months, what kind of shape are you going to be in? And so your mind, kind of look at your mind as this muscle that is beautiful, loving, and especially your higher self and your higher mind, if you will, that it has all the answers for you and everything that you want, and you just want to, relax into that. And so what can we do every day to really become a magnet now to attracting these perfect fit clients, these ideal clients? So what are your thoughts on what can we do?
I got something, Dr. Hay.
Yeah, cool. Hey.
Meditation is huge.
Yeah.
Every day. Not only that, but I've been implementing a gratitude journal daily basis.
Awesome.
Meaning that I'm grateful for the air I breathe. I'm grateful for now I'm going to add, I'm grateful for these clients that love me and I love them. That's easy to work. That's easy to work with. They love me and I love them. And it takes me literally 5 minutes a day. Meditation might be 10 to 15, then actually journal in a gratitude journal. And just write it out and then feel the feeling of gratitude while you're writing it and bask in the moment of the gratitude.
Yeah. And go ahead.
No, that's okay. That's it.
And what automatically you're doing is you're telling the universe, if you will, I want more of this, because whatever you're thinking about, that God's going to give you more of.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
And so if you're in gratitude, or the word I like is appreciation, it's just a little bit higher vibrational word, that when I'm in gratitude or appreciation, you see, appreciation is more about, hey, this was a co-creative process. I did the asking, I did the thinking, and then the Father did the work. And so this appreciation, well, when you're in this state of, as Mark says, gratitude, that what you do is you call forth, and you look at it this, or I love looking at it this way, it's you're telling your angels, I want more of it. And so your angels are going like, oh man, this person is, Mark is just filled with this gratitude and appreciation. I got to give him more. He really likes this. He's really flying high with this. And so your angels go out and gather all your goodies. They're going to go out and gather to you the people, the circumstances, the thoughts, the events, the situations that are going to create more things to appreciate. And it's like, what fun is this? You don't even have to do it, but you have to believe in this, that, you have to believe that the power of your word, your thought, is such that, and there's no judgment here, whatever you're thinking about, you're going to get more of. And so you want to catch yourself if you're thinking. And how do you catch yourself? If you're feeling bad. Because every particle, every situation, every person has in it the wanted or the unwanted for you. And it's up to you to look for the wanted in everything. And COVID-19, I just love it. I have to make reservations for, real nice restaurants anymore, that the traffic was reduced, that, there were all kinds of wonderful things. I was able to connect more with people on, Zoom and other technology that we have. That's incredible in technology, by the way, to attract agents or attract clients or whatever. We got all kinds of things that we've created really just in the last couple of months, which is all something on another topic. But so you just ask for it and it just comes. And so we just have some amazing things. In fact, we can even make money up to $2,500 on mortgages now. On every mortgage that you do, you can legally, and rest of it is approved in 49 states other than Utah. Sorry, Mark. That Mark.
Good. It's all good.
Houston,
We're gonna make Utah work.
Yeah, right. Good. And but we have all kinds of things that most people haven't even heard of, haven't even imagined. But that's because we're asking for it. We're asking for. And so think about this too, is that what am I going to be asking for? I'm going to ask for answers and solutions. So I ask for answers and solutions to what? To building my business, to attracting ideal clients, these great fit, perfect fit clients that I ask for answers and solutions. Einstein said, and by the way, all this is backed, everything of my teaching is backed by science. They have proven everything that I had. They only proved in the last 5 years. I've been proving it for 30 years, that all of this, but Einstein said, you cannot get a solution to the problem at the same level, energy level, if you will, of the problem. You have to be thinking on the other side, on the wanted, of what's the answer and what's the solution for us. So, Mark, I love meditation, gratitude journal. And then the other thing that I love that you said was, they love me and I love them. And what a great one. Again, if you just get some index cards and start putting that around, near your computer, whatever, in your car, whatever, but you want to be hit by these thoughts, because what will happen if you don't, that you'll start to wander back into the same way your thinking process was before. And thoughts become things. So these new thoughts that you're going to now be having, that you're going to, I got a waiting room again, that these new thoughts that you're going to be having are going to create this new life for you. You're going to have plenty of business, plenty of money, everything. And so this idea too about money, that money loves me and I love money. Because remember, money is, it comes from God, an angelic, a positive divine energy that I like to use call an angel. And so it's for good. But remember, you can use anything. You can have the I want or the wanted. And so you could say, oh, money is the root of all evil, blah, blah, blah. That's fine. That's on one side. And I guarantee you, when you start treating money and thinking money that way, money's not going to be around. But when you start saying, hey, I love money and money loves me, that it is guaranteed for you.
Got a good rhyme to that, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. And they love me and I love them. And again, we're talking to them about those ideal clients and those prospects that become clients. And so, yeah, I love it. So other thoughts and comments, and I love that you guys are writing this down. And again, I would suggest you review these notes and everything. This is really all the answers that you need, you know. And again, we have specific lead programs and you know, amazing different training and, you know, everything. But it really starts right here with, hey, you got this good mindset and hey, my business is building that. I just love that this year is going to be the best year ever for me. And that, and I like that Ryan is not where he had to go because he's got more business coming. But that Ryan was talking about, hey, I want to be a really good, what we call icon agent, you know, and that if you don't ask for it, you're not going to be. And so in my coaching, I've been coaching, you know, a few people on, hey, why don't we become an icon agent? And like the thought had never occurred to them. If the thought never occurs to you, you're never going to be it. Okay. And so for you to be thinking about, hey, you know, what do I want to do? That I like this idea about, hey, I love the idea. And so this is a great way to be thinking about this. And to write down, I love the idea of being a $10 million agent. And so again, I love the idea about that. That way you'd be an icon agent and you know, plenty of commissions. And then, you know, for those that are with us, you know, plenty of stock. The stock now has just gone wild. You know, I have so many agents that are millionaires now because of this, and all within 3-4 no longer than about 4.5 years. It'll become millionaires, and a whole other thing just by being a real estate agent. You know, it's just fantastic. So, but don't worry. Like if you're not part of it, you're not missing anything. And you just know that hey, you're at the perfect time, the perfect place, and everything's going to come to you. And right now, more business is going to come to you because of you know, what we have been discussing and sharing with this. So with that, other thoughts or comments about our ideal prospect or anything else you want to share with us? So what did you like best about today? Jody, what did you like best? I know you kind of were lost with your, I think your.
I made a note to myself that I have to set up a second Zoom account.
Oh.
So I told Lisa, I was texting Lisa, I said, I got to jump off, but I'll be back on again if nobody shows up for my meeting.
Okay.
I liked best, I'm putting back in my life again, your joy shop. And so I'm making, the note that I made today was, I'm going to ask for more answers, help, and solutions. So thank you for putting that. I'm going to put that top on my joy shop.
Yes, I love that. And we haven't talked specifically about Joy Shop, but the Joy Shop is something also kind of like what Mark was saying about meditating in the morning, 10, 15 minutes, that I have a Joy Shop, and it is basically you read these couple of pages of good feeling thoughts, and that'll raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, when you're feeling better, you are now raising your point of attraction to attract what? To the things that you desire. And so it's kind of heaven, hell. Okay. And
it
so
works.
we want to be, yeah, it plays out for sure, Jody. And so, and then what you do is you just write down 3 things: what I want, that what I appreciate, So very similar to what Mark was doing. And then you pre-pave your day the way you want it. And so what does that mean? My travels are smooth and easy, enjoyable. Okay, don't even use the word traffic. Traffic is low vibrational word. That my meetings just go well. Everybody just loves me. That I have out of the blue surprises today. That that I feel good all day long. I have tears of joy that come to me. That so those are, you know, you're pre-paving your day on how you want your day. And this is really how to become a deliberate co-creator with your higher power, with God, with all that is. And then know that really there are angels, folks, and I talk to them every day and I see them. And by the way, when you start getting more and more connected with your angels, that you'll actually see more birds. And so pay attention to seeing birds, and then just imagine like Archangel Michael just wrapping his just divine wings around you and just loving you. And taking all the fear out of you and just filling you with love. And really, this is the way to, if you want the easy path to all of your dreams coming true, and if you want to be the happiest person in the world, that this is how to do it. And any other comments before we go? Ladies and gentlemen, divine beings, extraordinary agents and brokers and amazing beings that you are, I love you all. That I wish you a week of just the most incredible, amazing, wonderful things happening to you, and know that everything is coming your way. And love you all. Take care.